Yo, what's going on? Oh. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy MP. So I got a message this morning saying, yo, go check your messages. And come to find out, I've been doxxed. I've supposedly been, my name was put out there, something like that. And they linked me to this video, apology video. So I'm going to watch it and see what the hell's going on. Since I haven't checked it out already. So let's just see it together. See what this guy's saying.
Video to apologize to some people for what I just did. Number one, the first people that I want to apologize to is my brothers and sisters in Christ for my behavior on here. This is a time where I know I'm wrong for what I did. We Christians are not supposed to act like that. We're not supposed to retaliate that way. Okay. In Matthew chapter 5, it says that we're supposed to pray for those who use us and abuse us and persecute us here on the internet and whatnot, and just in our personal lives or whatever. So I want to apologize to my brothers and sisters in Christ. Standing for Christ is right. I need to calm down. I would also like to apologize to Fiona, Hannah, Dragnut, Redline, Miss Dragnut, multiple personalities.
Thanks for the apology.
And several other people in the community that I can't think of at the top of my head. When I came to YouTube, I came here to talk about the last days and what's going on in the last days, and I found myself talking about things that don't even matter at the end of the day. I deleted the two videos I made where I exposed everyone's information.
What?
No matter what they're doing to me right now, even though I've lost my job,
actually did it.
Even though these people are putting my real name in the title of their videos,
you put it out to everybody. Don't be stupid.
I should not be retaliating this way. It's bad enough these people are going to be burning in hell for all of eternity. You know, let them have their fun while they're here on the earth. So, I just want to apologize first and foremost to my Lord and my Savior Jesus Christ. I want to apologize to the Christians here on the internet for my behavior that I just displayed on here and whatnot. And I want to apologize to the atheists that I viciously attacked on here, talking about things that have absolutely nothing to do with the great debate. Again, I'm a Christian. I don't believe in doing those things. They're not, and they do believe in those things. So, whatever. The only reason I'm making this video right now is because several Christians came to me in private and said, G-Man, you need to apologize. And that's what I'm doing right now. I can't get on here and argue morality the way I do and then do the things that I'm doing. In that case, I was wrong, and I am apologizing. Okay? So, again, for the next 30 days, I'm going to be evaluating whether or not I should keep these channels up. So don't be surprised if you start seeing videos being deleted from this channel, GTV, and ultimately the GMan channel being deleted for good. I did not get on here to argue about my education. I got on here to argue, I'm sorry, not to argue, but to expose the lies of the last days. And if I can't do that, I don't want to be on here no more.
What the fuck? Okay. So, this guy is crazy. All right, I'm going to put G-Man to the bottom and just, what the fuck? So, G-Man, after years and years of threatening to dox people, has finally done it. Doxed us all, huh? Put us all out there. Well, I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't care about my own doxing. I really don't care. Let me fix this. So I'll put this on. I don't care about my own doxing. Fuck that. But wow. It's funny because you don't know how to react to things. Let me tell you about me and G-Man's relationship from beginning to end. When I first met G-Man, in real life, I'm not going to say about, we met online before, we were in Hangouts and things type of thing, but when we first actually met in person was when we did the whole New York trip with JD and everybody, and G-Man was here. And that night when G-Man was actually going to go home. It was late because we had done JD's show and it was late, and we were in my car. And what happens is the buses at a certain time stop running. So it was after that time because G-Man said, "Oh, what time is it?" And I said, "Well, it's about, I forgot what time it was, maybe 2 o'clock." Something. It was like really late. So he asked me, could I give him a ride to Manhattan so he can get to the bus. So when we looked at the time, he said, "Oh shit, the bus is not going to run. It ends at a certain time." So I was like, "Yo, what are you going to do?" He was like, "Well, since, the only place I can do is I can go across the bridge, but my house is so far away that I'd have to walk it." He's like, it's like something like 5 miles. It was like some ridiculous walk. So I said, and he was like, "Yo, I only got like $5 or $6 to my name. I can't even catch a cab." So he was like, "You know what I'll do is I'll walk as far as I can, and I'll probably just catch a cab and just tell the guy, whatever he had to do to get home." So I said, "Well, how much is a cab?" He's like, "Well, to be honest with you, it's going to be about $40." And it was, $40 to actually cross the bridge. So he was like, "Yo, if I have to wait for a bus from Manhattan, it's going to, I'll get home even really, really late because I got to wait for that bus. It comes like once every 2 hours just to go across the bridge." It was like a whole big scene. So I said, "Hey, listen, here's the $40. Don't worry about it. You don't owe me anything. Get home safe, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see you next time you come out. Just next time, just make sure." I just gave him $40. No problems, no anything. He said, "Listen, I'll pay you back." I said, "No, listen, you don't have to pay me back. It's yours. You needed it. I just think I'm just being thankful that I had it to give, and just do something nice for somebody else." You know what I'm saying? I drove him to 34th Street. He got off, and I don't even know if he took the bus or the train or whatever. I think if he took a cab or whatever. He had the $40 and he was gone. Then we developed a friendship. G-Man, we played basketball. Hannah was there, and a lot of the times we'd hang out, we'd go to movies. We did a whole bunch of stuff. We ate at a restaurant before. We hung out, and just, we were developing a friendship because I always felt that, even from my own personal perspective, I feel like I used to be like G-Man. I used to think all atheists were evil and all this other stuff, and I grew out of it. So, I'm the type of person where, hey, if you like playing basketball, ping pong, and all that stuff, and you like doing all this, play chess and all this fun stuff, you can come hang out with me, and we can have a go of it, And as you can see, we had a pretty decent friendship. I used to tell him the shit online that I didn't like what he did. There was some points that he would make that I did agree with, but generally, I would always push, for more civility. Hey, listen, no, calm down. Let's more impulse control. I know Dragnot is bothering you, and even when he had problems with Dragnot, he'd ask me to represent him as an attorney because he knew I was at the DA's office and I had left, and he knew I was an attorney, so he asked me to represent him against Dragnot, and I declined it because there would have been a conflict of interest there. I'm very close with Dragnot, and I was close with G-Man, and that just wouldn't be a good look. So I told him to seek legal advice from someone who would do so, and I explained to him too that I wasn't sure if his claims had any merit, but somebody else may be better to answer those, because the criminal arena that I understood was just from where I was at. I didn't know what the laws were in Texas or New Jersey. So after that, we were still cool. And to show you how close we had gotten, when G-Man had called me one day like 5 or 6 times in a row. My wife was even like, "Damn, this guy's calling you a lot." Like when he was coming to New York for the Black Hebrew Israelites, we drove around looking for one of the sects that he was trying to find, and we found it. And I saw him have conversations with these guys. I don't believe that bullshit. So, but one time when G-Man hurt his back, he was in the hospital. He called me. I was the first person he called. And he asked me to come to the hospital, so I was going to come to the hospital. But then the next day he was going to leave. So that night, because he was alone in the hospital and he couldn't have any visits because visiting hours was over, I stayed on the phone with him for we had an off-air hangout, just me and him, and we watched the game. And we watched it for about 2 hours and talked shit and laughed. And he even made a video saying how that was great, how it brought up his spirits. 2 hours on the phone at night, nobody else, just me and him talking shit about basketball. You know how I like to fuck with him. So he told me about how because of his back he couldn't work, so he needed some cash. So I met up with him and gave him $100 cash. Here's some cash. Don't pay it back. This is for you to do whatever you need to do, because you need it. You know what I'm saying? You hurt your back. You can't work. I know you got to eat. You need it. So here's $100. And you don't owe me anything. I do this. This is what I do for friends. And developing that type of friendship. Again, he didn't call True Imperialism, he didn't call Vec, he didn't call anybody. He called me. When he was in his deepest, he called me because he knew I was going to be there for him, I was going to look out for him, and I'm that type of guy. I'm not a Christian, I'm just a good guy. So, he introduced me to the evangelist Ken, and he wanted to get me more involved in debating people and things of that nature. But I said, listen, I like to do my own thing. But I appreciated him, trying to get me involved with all the Christians. He knew what my positions were. And, as you can see, he was calling me on for his hangouts, and we had that relationship. So he also had that relationship with Hannah, too, So me, Hannah, GMan, we would hang out together. We played basketball together, for instance, and we were having fun together. And generally, when people came to New York, Hannah would meet up with them, and sometimes, Sam the Scientist came to New York. Me, Hannah met up, and Rhett, and it was great. We went to Dallas barbecues, we had drinks. It was a really, really good time. So when G-Man did what he did to Hannah, threatened to dox her for the stupid reason, I thought, I said, I said, this is ridiculous. So what I did is I said, I'm going to, this is not the G-Man that I know, and this is not the person who I became friends with. So I said, I'm going to step back. I'm not going to, to condone this. I'm going to, step back and let him think about what he did. Because my friendship, I would do the same for Hannah as I would do for G-Man. I think they're two incredible people, and I would do the same for both of them. But when he did that, I felt that he had crossed the line. Because Hannah, and he's crossed this line before, and I hadn't experienced it, but he did. And I said, well, I'm going to separate myself from that, because that's just not the way I live my life. I don't threaten to dox people and to do all that stuff. I'm just going to separate myself from that. And then he lost his job. So now when he lost his job, I understood G-Man's financial situation, the situation he was in. So I called him and I said, well, listen, if you need any cash or anything, just to hold you over, if you need some help finding a job, let me know. I know some people, and here's some cash. I'll give you some cash to just to help you for this small amount of period to help you, recover from this. But I understand, and I didn't appreciate anybody, actively trying to help him lose his job. But I said, hey, fuck it. I made sure to very clearly mention to him that I did not care. I did not care what his reasons were. I think what he was doing was wrong. It was ridiculous, and he needed to stop. He needed to leave Redline alone. He needed to leave Hannah alone, and he needed to just focus on his ministry. And that was the most important thing, and everything else. And then I learned some other things that G-Man had supposedly done, that were pretty bad. And, so I said, well, listen, I'll separate myself from the situation. So I as most of you guys know, if you watch my stuff, I didn't subscribe to his channel. I just a clean break, It's almost like a breakup, just a clean break. I'm going to do my own thing. So, that's where I thought the relationship was, You do your thing, I do my thing. I got 300 subs, you got 10,000 subs. There's a lot more people you can talk to than I can. So now with this doxing, I don't know how I feel about it, because I don't feel this guy owes me anything. But it's strange because when we all met, like myself, Redline, Hannah, we all met understanding that we were putting trust in each other. Hannah trusts me. That's the reason why I know what she looks like. Most of you people don't know, probably will never know what she looks like. I know what she looks like. I know who she is. I would never dare try to do it. And I know what Redline looks like. Redline's, if I can point him out right now, if he was in a crowd, I know what Redline looks like, and he's an amazing guy too. And I think what G-Man did by releasing information on them was a violation of trust that I just can't accept. It's to that level. Like for me, it really doesn't matter. If you find out who I am, which most people know, my name is Nate. My last name is spelled similar, but but if you want to find out who I am, I don't think it's going to be too hard for you to find out who I am. But I think this is the straw that broke the camel's back with me. We're in a community, and all we have is each other. And if we as people in the community, because that's what this is, this community, if you just are if you just don't have any morals or don't have any gumption about hurting the people who are closest to you, or hurting the people who you call friends, then it's not about Christianity. It's about you as a person. Like, even in that, if he's calling that thing a apology video, I'm sorry. He's not sorry because he felt bad for doing it. He's sorry because somebody else told him he was bad. It was bad. And that's what I think the point of this thing is. That's what I think the sorry point of this whole thing is that he's not upset. He's not sorry for doing it. He's sorry because other people think he's wrong for doing it. And that's the point I hope GMan would take away from this. And for all you people who watch his stuff, I only have 300 subs. But if you're still subscribed to this guy and you still watch his stuff, you're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Because he's ranting and raving and doing all this because of the attention. If he got no attention, then who would even care? But we give him too much attention. We do. We give him way too much attention. And this guy's just not worth it anymore. This guy's just not worth it. If he can do this to friends of his, what's he going to do to you? So, GMan, he's mentally not mature enough to understand, to have impulse control. I've known that for a while. But there are two different GMan. And the one you see online is an emotional, like right now, if you look at the video down here, if you look at the video down here, he's in a room just spouting nonsense. And I think we have to kind of let this troll go. I've done it. And I think you should too. So, personally, I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm going to continue to be who I am. But GMan is not going to be a part of that equation anymore. And if we continuously make GMan a part of this equation, then he's going to have value. And to me, he has no value. So, I might be on a couple of other places talking about this tonight, but a week from now, I'm probably not even going to be saying this guy's name again. So, I'm just going to ask, if you guys, if the information is already out there, I would ask you guys to respect people's privacy, and that's the best I can do. But it's time to let this guy go, He's not helping the conversation. He's not pushing anything forward. Right now, he's just he's hurting people, and this hurt people. This is going to hurt Redline. This is going to hurt Hannah. This is hurting people, and I don't think this community is about that. I don't think it was ever about hurting people. It's about us coming together and talking about topics that most people don't talk about. Religion, flat Earth. We all do this because we like to do this, and GMan has crossed the line. I think a line was crossed when whoever got him fired, but it wasn't Hannah who got him fired. I didn't get him fired. There was some internet trolls who did a campaign, but you can't blame Hannah for that. You can't blame Redline for that. Redline specifically said he wasn't even going to discuss GMan anymore. So, times like this, we just got to come together and call it what it is. This guy's a snake. And, well, actually, I think this guy's a rat. And right now, let what happens, happens. He's got to go, and he should go. So, listen, guys, leave your comments below, and I'm going to holler at you later.